Hi guys, it's Minx here. Hope you're doing really well today. Myself and Luton are here to do another little podcast, Thingamajiggy, MLD, Minx and Luton discuss.
Gus. There you go.
And today's episode is going to be on the subject of cam girls, like
graphic nudity.
Graphic nudity, porn on Twitch and YouTube. No, it's about people who exploit their physicality to get success on YouTube and Twitch. The reason we're talking about this is because Twitch recently updated their terms of service to stop men and women exposing attractive parts of, obviously not their genitals, but like they banned like low cut tops for women. Yeah. They banned men being shirtless and showing off their six packs and things like that. I guess even if you don't have a six pack and you're shirtless, that's still against the terms and conditions. Even if you weigh 500 pounds, it's probably still against the terms and conditions, I guess. I don't know. So anyway, Twitch have brought this in to stop people getting views purely because of their physical appearance, basically.
Well, it's inflating their views, isn't it, really?
Inflating
it's
their
like,
views.
Like 20% extra.
Someone could be really talented at making content and just be good looking, and that's fair enough, you know what I mean? But they're specifically targeting people who aim the camera at their racks, you know what I mean? And the camera is their tits, basically, and that kind of thing. And you know that people are mainly there for that rather than their commentary.
Why do you think they're doing this? Do you think it's like a specific sort of brand thing where they're like, because it seems a very moral point of thing, for Twitch to be like, oh yes, we don't want this. Do you feel like they're coming, it's like that, they don't want their brand to be kind of like, maybe they're sort of trying to get in now before it turns, descends too bad? Because you were telling me about this Playboy model or something, and maybe that's it, that they don't want it to start this slippery slope where it gets to that level, it's like they didn't want to see it become like this plague where it's sort of everywhere and then it becomes almost too much of an issue to deal with. They've seen like a trend happening and they don't want it to sort of spiral out of control. Do you reckon that's where they're coming from?
I think that why do I think Twitch have done it?
Yeah.
I think Twitch have done it because I guess there's been quite a lot of outcry from people who probably feel they're getting hard done by, because these people are taking views away from them. I often see that complaint banded out on Twitter, and I think there's probably been a lot of pressure on Twitch from people who state that viewpoint. Because
the trouble is, I'm always kind of wary about. I'm always kind of wary about that kind of thing, because it's like, where do you draw the line? And if they're unhappy about this, and then and it's kind of like, people can make their own decisions about how they represent themselves and present themselves and all these kind of things, and it's like, I wouldn't choose to do that, but other people, other guys might decide they want to stream without a shirt or whatever. Hell, I tell you what, in the summertime, like, I rarely wear a shirt because it gets so bloody hot in the city, but it's like, would I stream whilst I was doing that? I don't know, maybe, but then should I it's like, I don't know, I feel like if everybody's an adult, like, why do we care? And if some people are unhappy about it, then tough luck. I don't know. It's kind of like it's.
I agree with you. I mean, I think we probably agree on this in general. But there's things I want to talk about on this subject. But just to state my opinion on this Twitch ruling to begin with, I feel that Twitch made a mistake doing this. I feel that freedom of expression, regardless of whether I think it's tacky or not okay to do myself, should still be allowed. If someone wants to show their rack because they have great tits, I don't really consider that a huge problem. They're well within their rights to do that, and I'm well within my rights to think, hey, they're probably a bit of a slut at the same time. And that I think that's fair. Like, they're allowed to do it, and I'm allowed to think badly of them as a result. But do I want to ban them? No. I think this term change of policy is actually kind of Twitch pandering to the whiners, is what I would say is the best way of putting it. And I don't really think a policy like this was needed to be enforced particularly. I mean, I know that the main reason this is happening, a reason this has been so vocal, I think, is because League of Legends is huge business on Twitch, obviously, and you have the pro streamers and whatnot.
Yeah. But
then often you'll look at the League of I won't, because I hate League of Legends, but people will look at the League of Legends rankings and see the top stream is someone with massive silicon tits with a fucking camera angled at them, begging for donations. Now, I don't think there's anything particularly wrong about that myself. Like, I might think that, like I said, I might think that person's a slut and I would never do it myself. But at the same time, the reason this has happened is because all those League of Legends fans are like, oh God, what's this? Should be pro people at the top slot, not these people who don't really know how to play. You know what I mean? And that's why I think the main kick of the stink has come, that, you know, the esports scene, not necessarily League of Legends all the time, but the esports scene, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you say that there's no real issue with it, or like, you know, people should be able to decide what they do. I don't know if I agree on that, like, because, or you say it's sort of, so I can't remember exactly your just wording, but you're kind of saying like it doesn't sort of really harm overall, it's just kind of like them doing their thing, right? But I kind of do think it does, because it sort of devalues if they're there like begging for, you know, and for Christ's sake, you know, people are going to throw money at people. You know, there's always idiots out there, they'll throw money at anything. But I feel like it does harm things, because it devalues other people that are working really, really hard, whether that's in terms of actually their gaming, or whether it's just in terms of their content making. Because you know, and I know, that making content takes a sorry for swearing, it takes a fucking lot of effort and a lot of time.
How dare you swear on my channel?
I know, I'm so sorry. It's so, but no, it's just, but it does, it devalues it, and also, like I say, right now they start to see a trend, and then where does it end? If you don't address it, it's going to spiral out of control. And everybody knows that once, you know, if somebody sees like a niche thing like happening where like, hey, we can make money out of this, bam, there's going to be people coming in there left, right and center, you know, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse. So from a kind of like freedom of expression point of view, yes, I don't like it. People should be able to do whatever the hell they want to do. From a gaming and, you know, content producing point of view, I think it's the right thing to do, because it's pushing people towards, hey, let's keep our content good and on par and quality, and that's a good thing. So that's where I am.
That's an interesting viewpoint. I mean, I'm not sure. Okay, so obviously I am known for not doing face cam. I don't do face cam at all, and obviously a lot of people try and pressure me into doing face cam on a daily basis. It's something I've learnt to deal with over the years.
The one today was awesome. I saw on Twitter with the pink hat thing. Yeah, like that was epic.
But anyway, yeah. So people always like pressure me into trying to do that sort of thing, and I feel perhaps the reason that is happening is because people expect a girl on the internet to be smiling into the camera, maybe have a low-cut top on. Not all girls, obviously. There are a few female gamers on YouTube that are large that, you know, they do face cam, but I wouldn't say they do exploitative face cam or anything like that.
Do you think it's also to do with the style of your content, like the kind of area you do content in, like Let's Play and kind of like sort of one-shot crazy stuff, you know? It's more that kind of, you expect face cam with that kind of stuff, right?
I guess to a certain degree, but I also feel a certain degree is the fact that people have just been conditioned to think that way because of you know, I feel to a certain degree it's just like what you said, people expect a face cam with reactions and all that kind of stuff. I personally don't think it adds to my content at all, but I understand that some people do think that, but I also think an element of it is kind of like, I would say, the more sexist element, like, oh, it's a girl on the internet without a face cam, you know, she must be ugly, or it's a girl on the internet without a face cam, you know, all girls should have face cams because, you know, girls are there for me to look at and nothing else. And I feel that mentality is created by these people who do sexually exploitive camera angles and sexually exploitative content on those lines. So that's the area where I would disagree with them, because I do feel it does harm. Yeah, I feel it harms those of us, those of us who are female gamers who don't exploit our gender, basically. Those of us who don't exploit our gender are harmed by those people that do, because it creates unrealistic expectations on the rest of us.
Yeah, that's what I'd say. Yeah, I think that's a really positive thing for yourself. And you know, I've been watching you since you were like 30,000 subscribers and before, and it never occurred to me. Like, I never thought like, damn, I wish Minx would show us. You know, like whatever, I don't care. You know, it's not about that. It's about the content and the, you know, the actual sort of the body of the work more than anything else. So it's never really been an issue. And people that get hung up on it, I don't know really where they're coming from. But what I would say is that, you know, just as a YouTube producer in general, and this is something I have spoken about before with other female gamers, and I've asked them like what they think about it, and again, there's been a kind of consensus. One thing for sure that I have noticed, and I see this also on Twitter, like if you see like Twitter followers, and also it's very interesting in terms of how people present themselves. If you use like some kind of like just, you know, whatever avatar, a logo, or like some anime character or whatever, you know, it's whatever. If you put a real picture of yourself, bam, that's a totally different, it actually affects the kind of views and follows and all this kind of stuff. But again, female gamers, it's very, very interesting. Like, if they have a YouTube channel or something like this, you will see people of a certain level and content production, and it, without a doubt, it absolutely affects the amount of subscribers that they get and all this kind of stuff. I have seen it happen time and time again, where you see these kind of people and you sort of think, if that was a guy, I'm pretty sure that their channel would not be growing like it is, you know?
Yeah,
and it's
I
just,
agree.
And let's face it, it's partly to do with the sort of, again, the demographic of people that are watching YouTube and where they're coming from. And to be honest, there's nothing really negative about it in one way, but in another way there is, because you're kind of questioning, like, hey, why are people, you know, what's their reason for sort of following that person? Is it because they're really interested in their content, or is it because they're kind of just drooling over them? Although, frankly, like, I can't imagine, like somebody always, there was a great sort of thing that we always used to say, where people always, like, I never understood what the point of, like, lads mags was, you know, like FHM, Maxim,
Zoo and things like that.
I never understood what the point of that was, because, like, all that is just kind of like whatever, and it's just kind of like, look, dude, if you're, you know, if you're really in that need, just go watch some porn. Seriously, you know, it's like this kind of light titillation. Like, what's that about?
Acceptable porn. Like,
it's just
you can
weird.
read it at your grands when you go around.
Yeah, it's just super weird. And of course,
weird.
I'm not saying in any shape or form. Okay, I'm not saying in any shape or form that, like, if you're a female gamer and you have a YouTube channel or whatever, that you're sexualizing yourself, or that you're using yourself to exploit it in any way. No, that is not at all what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if you're out there and you're making your content and you're doing your thing, and unfortunately there is this sort of demographic, this percentage of people who will sort of be more inclined to sub or whatever just based on your gender, and there's nothing, you know, there's literally nothing you can do about that. That's just the way it is. But I think that then directly links into what we're talking about, where people are sort of going a step beyond that, and then that's where you sort of, it becomes a kind of question, really, you know.
One thing I would say is that I feel that sometimes people will sub to guys. A lot of there are plenty of male YouTubers with large teenage female fan bases who either just happen to be good looking, so they've got a larger female audience that way, or, for example, they perhaps do exploit their fan base to a certain degree. Like, they make things like, what would you do if you wanted to have sex with me, and sort of videos and things like
Really?
that. Yeah. Oh god. Yeah. There's a huge chunk of that, especially in the vlogging, vlogging rather than gaming community. That is, but yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
social experiments. That's my hated word of the year, I guess.
Oh god, yeah, social experiments is one of mine. But yeah, in fact, to be fair, not to bring him into it too much, but I would say he has a fan base like that. Like, you know, they defend him over anything. Whatever he does, it doesn't matter, because
it's a rationalization.
They might love him deep. He might love them deep down if they met. You know,
sake,
and that's how a lot of teenage girls think, though, and that's how a lot of the teenage girls who view these vlog channels that exploit them in that way do things, and they know it. They're totally aware of it, and they do it. So I would say that men can be just as guilty on YouTube and Twitch as exploiting audience as women can. It's definitely a two-way street. Like, you might do vlogs shirtless, or gaming videos shirtless in a certain person's instance that I'm not going to name, but most of you probably know who I'm talking about. Yeah. And
I've seen several, not just like one. I mean, you linked me one a minute ago, which I looked at and I was like, wow, okay. Yeah. But I have seen many people do it again, like different YouTubers across whole different genres. Some on Twitch, some on YouTube. It's quite prolific and it's quite blatant as well. You know, they've kind of like basically made a decision of like, hey, I can do this content like this, or I could do it without my shirt and I'll boost myself by like 15%. Exactly. So I'm totally going to do that. So it's not like they're just like, oh yeah, I want to game and I always game without my shirt because I'm more comfortable. Shut up, come on, seriously. You know,
yeah, it's like, I would say that obviously there are people who are just genuinely good looking, who have made YouTube channels and have success purely on the merit of their commentary, and probably a bit with their looks as well, but they're not exploiting their looks. If you happen to be absolutely amazing to look at, good on you. I mean, obviously, you can't say, well, you can't make a YouTube channel, you fucking sexy person. How the fuck dare you? You know what I mean? So, you know, there is a difference between just being good looking and getting an audience partly from that, which you will, because you're good looking. But there's a difference between that and exploiting your view base with certain types of videos, certain types of face cam type content and that kind of thing.
Yeah. And I guess there was that whole period like way back when with what was it, like Reply Girls? You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so that whole deal as well, where they would sort of have deliberate sort of thumbnails and then reply to certain content on certain videos because they knew people would see the thumbnails and click through. I mean, there is that whole click. Okay, this is another one as well, and it's just like, it's classic clickbait crap, you know, like whenever you see these stupid montage videos in your sidebar and there's like a picture of two girls in a bikini and it's like bam, 5 million views, and you're like, yeah, okay, you know, it's just that kind of crap always, you know.
And like I say, in fact, guys can exploit girls on YouTube to get more views. You often see, especially I think in like the COD sort of community and maybe the trolling sort of videos, you'll get people like girl gamer trolled, and they'll get a picture of a porn star looking like she's just sucked somebody off and have it as a thumbnail, and that'll be hot girl gamer trolls. You don't know if they're hot. They can look like a fucking shithouse. You're playing COD with them. You have no fucking idea what they look like. But you know what I mean? And they will use that to get clickbait.
Yeah.
I do understand, like, you know, trying to name videos to get views and that kind of thing. I understand that, but I feel like there's a line, and people will often do it all the time, repeatedly. Like, I could let someone off doing it once, maybe ironically, or that sort of thing, or doing it a few times ironically. You know what I mean? Because they know, they're like, haha, you clicked on this because you saw tits. And I guess I don't see any real harm in that. But when there's entire channels built around this fucking shit, that's when it bugs me. And I feel that the natural evolution of the Reply Girl is this sort of like thing now with the camera aiming at tits moving around as they play. I was watching a stream the other day that people were freaking out over on Twitch, where it was basically some porn star who really was a porn star, apparently. Like, the people were spamming it on Twitch. I didn't click the links, but I assume it was true. And she basically just almost had her tits completely out while she was playing a game. And she was a new channel because you probably knew she was going to get shut down by Twitch really quickly, but she was getting lots of donations, like bam, bam, bam. Guys are like, oh my god, tits, gotta give $10. That's what I give the stripper down the road. For the love of God. You know what I mean?
I just wouldn't waste my money. Like, why? Like, I just don't get it. Like,
every time they gave her $10, she'd like make a heart shape and lean forward and be like, "Thank you so much."
For fuck's sake, man! Like,
don't make this eye.
Yeah. Oh, that's the worst. Yeah. Oh my god. What's her name? TheRPGMinx.
Oh god, TheRPGMinx. She doesn't do YouTube anymore, I don't think.
What a surprise. Like, oh, that's a classic. That was just the worst thing on YouTube ever. Like, oh, anyway. But, okay, Devil's Advocate.
Did I tell you that once? Did I tell you this? Okay, so I did some t-shirts for Maker like a year ago.
Yeah.
And Maker thought I was TheRPGMinx and put her picture on my fucking t-shirt store.
I just spat my drink out.
Yeah. It was changed like in a day, but I was like, what the fuck? I was pretty pissed.
That's the best thing ever. So, oh my god. Okay, anyway, sorry. That really just, I didn't expect you to say that. Oh, good god, that's so funny. Anyway, alright, I was trying to make a serious point before we got onto that. Devil's Advocate, right? As much as we may think that blah, 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 there's always people going to be making money and products and everything from sex and, you know, people taking their shirts off and all this kind of stuff. It's probably going to be quite crappy content, and therefore probably crappy, stupid people are going to be the kind of people that support it, right? So therefore, should we really care? You know, I think that's a pretty big question. People are gonna reply to this, you know, in response.
I mean, much as it bothers me on a personal level at times, and much as I guess I perhaps feel a little hard done by at times, you know, because of who I am and what I do. I do feel that in general, people should be able to do what they want to do. I don't agree with Twitch's rule changes. Mm-hmm. If people want to show their cleavage off, that's fine. If people want to be, so guys want to be shirtless and be oiled up with their six pack while they play games, that's fine as well. Everyone likes sex, I would say. Well, not everyone, but most people on this planet like sex and consume sexual content somewhere. Yep. And if you want to do that on Twitch while watching video games, that's fine. Personally, I pay for porn. I actually pay for porn because I like to give something back. So yeah, I buy porn and I like porn. But would I go to Twitch to look for? I wouldn't.
You can do better. You can find more specifically what you're after. You know, it's like.
Yeah, exactly.
But okay.
You're not going to get anyone like trying to urinate in their own face on Twitch, for God's sake.
Definitely. Well, until they get shut down, for sure. But it could happen. You know, I don't think we can be really too full on about this. I think, like, as much as we might dislike it, it's like there's far, far worse things out there, and we really can't be sort of, you know, just too conservative about it. We're not like right wing, you know. It's like, but you know, at the same time, I think it's interesting when you sort of look. There's been like loads of discussion about sexism in gaming lately, of course, and we're not going to get into this now. But I feel like there is this whole air of things going on, and I wonder whether this is some kind of correlation with that. You know, just the general air which is happening at the moment. Do you reckon?
I feel that the type of content we're talking about certainly appeals to like the dude bro sort of like sexist type side of gaming. I don't think that's actually a majority of gamers. I think it's like a minority of idiots more than anything else, but I do feel that that is certainly designed to appeal to that marketplace.
Yeah, exactly. But like we say, you know, you can't really blame people for the content that they watch in this kind of respect, you know. But one thing that I would say is I feel kind of like within the context of what it is, you know. So like if you want to go and watch porn or whatever, then you know what you're getting, right? You know, that's what it is. Whereas on YouTube and gaming, specifically Twitch, which is very specific about what it allows people to put out there, you know, they're very specific about that. It's about gaming content, you know, and yeah, it allows people to have face cams and all this kind of stuff, but when they are very clearly skewing that and like pushing and they're, you know, sort of creaming extra profit or whatever just from that thing, it's like,
moving it away from the gaming into something else, I feel, is the issue.
Yeah, exactly. It really is. And Twitch are very specific about that. And I think what they're doing is they're saying, like, look, you know, if you want to have a face cam, that's fine, but don't distort it to the point that it's more about the person that's literally in the cam than the gameplay that they're sort of getting on with. And I think that's totally fair. And I think that's really the point they're coming from. YouTube is a more grey area, and that's really kind of like our opinion. And I guess that opinion comes from the Twitch aspect. So, you know, as producers, me and Minx are, you know, we value content and we value making our content. My content is more serious than Minx, and Minx's is more entertaining from that point of view than mine. But the principle is the same, that, you know, you work hard and you put time into it, and it should be about that content and that theme rather than just the visual person on the screen. I think that's where we're coming from, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, my general like conclusion here would be, I personally think people who do this, I do think less of them when I see this sort of content being made. But should they not be able to do it? No, I mean, I can't get outraged by this, because I would have to be outraged by things like pornography, which I think is great, and and you know, and just generally adult content, which I don't think is a bad thing.
Yeah.
So my general consensus is, I personally don't like it when people do this, but they should be able to do it. Twitch is wrong for changing the rules, in my opinion. People should be able to express themselves. Yeah. And if you really do want to go on Twitch and watch someone get their tits out, then that's totally okay with me. I just won't watch it myself.
I think it's a fair point. It's a fair point. I mean, from my wrap up, I don't think I fully agree with you. I think I have a slightly different point of view. I think for YouTube, people should be able to post whatever they want to post. It's YouTube. I mean, within reason. Jesus, we're not having like hardcore pornography on. Yeah, you know, like keep it real. Like, you know, but so, you know, within the bounds of reason. Twitch, I think is a separate thing. I think Twitch is very specific about what they want to do. And like I was saying, I think like if you start putting stuff on there which is distorting and that's not about freedom of expression. It's about, you know, the kind of content you're creating within the context of what that site is. They're very specific about it, and I think it's fair. And at the end of the day, right, it's their site. They can do whatever the hell they want to do with it. And if you don't like it, well, it's bad luck. It's like in the pub, you know, if you're making a big fuss in the pub, you know, they've got every right to just kick you out, right? And you can't make it. You'd be like, no, I've got a right to be here. No, you don't. And that hasn't happened to me, by the way. I'm not using that as like a that's not a real life example. Okay, anyway,
it's in the Rebel, living on the edge
years ago perhaps, but I'm very good now, so it's all fine. That's a story for another day. All right, guys. So this has been Minx and Ludin Discuss. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Be sure to check it out also on SoundCloud if you're watching on YouTube. We'll be trying to do these weekly, bi-weekly. So drop your thoughts below. What do you think about this topic? What do you think about it on Twitch as an issue? What do you think about on YouTube as an issue? Are you on the side of people being able to do whatever they want to do? Or do you think it's kind of outrageous, distracting, and just generally non-constructive? Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.
See you later, guys.